Ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues at the international community, our development partners, diplomats,
neighboring states' overreaching encroachment in our independent land and border. Through multiple bilateral meetings and flag meetings, India has reiterated their commitment to bring casualty at the border to zero. However, we have seen that despite calling themselves our closest ally, Indian border security forces applies a shoot-at-sight policy for the India-Bangladesh border.
Not only a citizen, he is a member of the border guard. And this is not the first one in this year or even the last year or even decades. We have seen persistent killing of our citizens at the border. There have been many requests for the Indians and the Indian administration to abide by the international law and the conventions of the cross-border security. There must be no arms carried between the 10 to 30 kilometers from both sides of the border. It is imperative that we as a nation stand with dignity and raise our voice that what's going on at the border, we say no loud and clear. Border killing must stop now and forever.
And to reiterate, our killings since 2010 at the border is 1,286, which is 1,285 more dead bodies than the Nepalese-Indian border. So we urge our citizens and the state to uphold a more strict foreign policy so that these border killings are downwards to zero, and for Indian counterparts to stop their shoot-at-sight policy.
India has been our inevitable neighbor for a few hundreds of years. We have been in one country. It is saddened that for some reason one of the crucial issues that we are facing between our bilateral relationship is our border security forces and endless killings by them. There are a number of other issues. Water is one of them, but for today our focus is recent killing of a BGB, the Bangladesh Border Guard member, at the Joshua border on Bangladesh side with the India. It is sad that the Indian Border Security Force had illegally entered into our territory and killed our own citizens. Many of the human rights organizations across the world have persistently called upon the Indian governments to issue policies that will ensure anyone illegally crossing the border should be brought to justice, not necessarily he or she has to be killed. From our side, we feel it is our subservient foreign policy by this illegal and illegitimate regime for the last 50 years, who fail to stand by their own citizens, who fail to condemn persistent killing by the BSF, who fail to raise the issues with the BSF-BGB meetings, who fail to raise this issue even internationally, if not with the Indian counterparts. We therefore urge for our future relationship and to bring the killings to zero in the future months and years, they must take the matter seriously. Sight and shoot policy must be stopped.
1,286 deaths since 2010. That is 2 years after this government has taken their chair. We are deeply saddened and angered by our state's inaction.